so I was able to become partners with Damon John. And one of the things that he said the last time we were together was I thought really kind of inspiring and cool. He said, look, and he's a very humble guy and a good guy. He said, man, he said, I've only got one hit. I sold FUBU. I got one hit. He's got all these people are coming to me asking me for advice and everything, because I'm on TV and I'm famous and everything, and I did good. I was a good businessman, and I think I'm a good businessman, but I've only had one hit. Most people only have one. So that's kind of a cool thing to think about, is like, you only need one. If you can have multiple, that's great. But most people only have one.
One of the things I love learning about are what people in the story behind what people consider to be transformational moments in a career, especially a successful career like yourself. You mentioned earlier how you were kind of getting started and you went to traffic conversion, you were doing some things, and then all of a sudden you were like, oh, and I'm business partners with Ryan Deiss now. And so, but there were probably moments in that journey that you could identify. It was like, this happened and it changed everything. And it doesn't have to be that storyline, although I'm interested, but maybe even any other moments like that in your career where it was like, this moment, this is where everything changed again. And now I'm up at this.
So many times. But since you like that one, I'll tell you that one. So as I said, I bought that product that was the Mr. X product, something traffic, wholesale traffic system, WTS, right? So I bought the wholesale traffic system. I think it was $2,000. I was like, these guys are great. I can use this. I started using it for AdWords. It worked. It was fantastic. I was like, they're the real deal. They had this event called Traffic and Conversion Summit. I went to the first one. I took notes until my hand cramped because they were terrible at doing events and had no breaks and went for like 12 hours a day. But I was like, this is amazing. And I'm very big on taking notes. I knew that there was a paid channel of access that they had created to get closer to them through this War Room mastermind that they offered. And so I ended up, not that time, but the next time, joining the War Room mastermind with the specific intention of, I want to get to know these people. And I'll tell you, I go back all the way, if you know who Gary Halbert was, did the same thing with him, did the same thing with Dan Kennedy. It's like, how have you, person that I want to get connected with, created a channel for me to get to do that without me trying to do an end run, without me begging, without me hitting you up at the end of a speech that you did with 40 other people that want your time and you just want to get out of there. I want to know, how do I pay you money through a paid channel of access you've created where you'll have reciprocity going to want to try to connect and talk with me. So with Deiss and Belcher, it was War Room. So I joined War Room. It was I think a $20,000 investment at the time. And I didn't go and join thinking, oh my God, I've got to get my 20,000 back. I was like, this is the paid channel of access that they created. I want to be business partners with these people. So I went to the first mastermind, and I knew in advance that they had this thing called Wicked Smart, where the entire group submits their stuff, not ideas, but things they'd actually done that had huge success. And I was like, I have to win Wicked Smart. That's how I stand out. So I was like, what the crap do I do to win Wicked Smart? I have no idea. And I just ask all of my friends, what are the biggest challenges that you've got in marketing? And they included getting ranked, figuring out how to get your Facebook friends into an email, how to get the emails so that you could do it. And I think something with LinkedIn. So I was like, okay, I'm going to solve these three problems. And I, up until like the night before the first meeting, worked on this. So we're talking about like maybe 5 weeks of, man, I got to solve this. And I talked to all the smartest people, and I tried. It was getting them from Skype. That was it. It was getting all the Skype things that you had, I think. Maybe Skype was how I did it. But anyway, I figured out how to do it. I figured out how to do all three of them. And it was kind of cool So I went in with not one, but 3 wicked smart submissions for things that the people in the group that I had reached out to and other people told me were their biggest problems. So I'm going in with, I feel like a little bit of an advantage. And I'm like, I gotta win this, because if I win this, they'll want to talk to me. Because even though I'm in this paid group and there's only 20 some people there, I still got to compete with those 20 people for the attention. And I'm not, a shake and howdy guy. I'm not like, hey, how you doing, Roland Frasier? Let me tell you, I'm much more non-direct than that. So we go and do Wicked Smart. I present my 3 things. Ryan stands up and says, are you guys getting this? Do you hear what this is? We got to take notes on that. After Perry comes over to me and says, hey man, we're having dinner with just a couple of people. And I'd like for you to come and I want you to sit next to me. So that was the strategy of how do I intentionally insinuate myself into this. And after that, it was 3 years of just helping everybody in that group without an expectation of anything in return. I helped people with big problems that they had. And I had good skills from being an accountant and being an attorney and also a marketing person. And I had done infomercials before and stuff like that. So I had my particular set of skills, as Liam Neeson would say, that I could bring to the table. And when Ryan and Perry had, they had a CEO that they had hired that had the ability to get a third of the company roughly. And it didn't work out with that CEO. I kind of helped them transition through that. And when it happened, they were like, you know what? There's a third of the company that's available that we had already kind of written off. And you've been so helpful all along. We'd like for you to come in and be a partner in the business. And so that was how I evolved into that. So it was a 3-year overnight success of becoming partners with them. But historically, like with Damon John, with William Shatner, with all of the people, that I can think of that I didn't know that I wanted to get to know and do business with and become partners. I just found what's the paid channel for access. And I would pay Gary Halbert. I would pay to do that. And then that would get me connected in a way that I could then show value, not take value, but show value. And then, I mean, really with every relationship like that I've ever wanted, I've been able to become partners with that person.
That's fantastic. Again, aligns with my personal message and secret to success, which is giving to others from your heart, serving others first. And then the rest.
That's the most selfish, manipulative thing you can do. Help other people with no expectations. How cool is that?
Perfect. Any other transformational moment stories that are a must share that pop into your mind?
Yeah. I mean, so I would say I won't go all the way back, but a few would be when I was representing Tony Robbins as an attorney, helping with Guthy Rinker infomercial contracts and Simon & Schuster publishing contracts and things like that. I was able to get connected to Bill Guthy and Greg Rinker. And that was really my first heavy direct response that I can remember connection, because they were doing infomercials. And I was like, infomercials are amazing. I don't know anything about them, but I know I would like to figure out how to do it. I don't have any product for it. I don't know anything about TV, but I'm pretty good at business. So what do they need? Well, it turns out that I don't know if they needed it, but what they were happy to have was somebody that would raise money, because most infomercials aren't successful. Maybe 1 out of 10 for them, maybe 1 out of 5. But so there's a lot of wasted money. And at the time, infomercials were, anywhere from $200,000 to $1 million to produce. So it was a lot of money that was just kind of nothing happening with. And I was like, well, I'm pretty good at putting deals together. Why don't you let me and a couple of people that I know be funding sources? We'll put together syndications, raise money, do packs of 5 infomercials at a time. Since 1 out of 5 is generally successful, we'll play those odds. And then the one that's successful will more than pay for the ones that aren't. You guys get to try 5 things, you run your play, and then we split up the profit.